Welcome everyone to the weekly edition of PlayStation Gaming Console News. Today's highlights: the launch of PlayStation 5 Pro sales, a new gaming patent from Sony, an in-depth look at a new PS5 Pro feature with PS4 games, and reassurance from Take-Two in their financial report that GTA 6 will not face delays. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into the top events of the past week. The main news from last week is that on November 7th, sales of the new PlayStation 5 Pro console officially began. But what amused me the most wasn't just the launch itself. It was the fact that the crafty resellers who made a fortune 4 years ago reselling the original consoles are now forced to sell at a loss, as demand hasn't been as high, and there has been no shortage like at the beginning of the generation. Currently, resellers are reducing console prices by about $50 to $100 on average, which is quite a decent discount for the most expensive console in history, so we should thank them for that. And now, the PS5 Pro at $600 no longer seems like a fantasy. Unexpectedly for everyone, Hideo Kojima announced that he has acquired the rights to Death Stranding, and now everything related to this franchise no longer belongs to Sony, including the upcoming sequel, which had been promoted as one of the main exclusives for the PlayStation 5. The first part of Death Stranding has already appeared on Xbox consoles and is now available to all players in the green camp. As for the sequel, the situation is still unclear. Most likely, the game will be a timed PS5 exclusive, and will be released on all other platforms, including Xbox, about a year after its PlayStation launch. And to balance out the news a bit, I'll add that Xbox will also soon lose a couple of its exclusives and release several games from its internal studios on PlayStation consoles. Until recently, only the release of Indiana Jones on PS5 was known, but now the list of confirmed leaks includes the strategy game Age of Empires, which has achieved notable success among RTS fans and is considered one of the best in the genre. It seems that Sony has started testing personalized discounts in the PlayStation Store, which will be based on your personal preferences and offer games you're interested in at reduced prices. Rumors about this new PlayStation feature have been circulating for quite a while, but now these personalized discounts have started to appear widely and across all regions. By the way, feel free to share in the comments if you've also received unique offers from the company and for which games. Publications to which Sony sent the device for review have released the first reviews, the main takeaway being that the temperature remained around 35 to 40 degrees under workload, and new game modes offer graphics quality at 60 FPS that is often even better than on the standard PS5. Some games feature quality modes at 30 FPS, but the difference is hard to notice without close attention. Alan Wake 2 stands out with a 30 FPS mode with ray tracing, which significantly enhances the graphics. In other cases, it's almost unnoticeable. In a way, the PlayStation 5 Pro has become a kind of remaster from Sony in the device segment for the everyday user. As for me, I've already started working on my review, which I'll try to complete soon to share my opinion on this console. Sony has patented a new technology, a gameplay rewind button. This feature may appear in the next generation of PlayStation or with a separate controller. It works as follows. The player presses the button to activate a mode that allows them to rewind to an earlier moment in the campaign. Of course, reversing time and rewinding gameplay in multiplayer won't be possible. The option is familiar to fans of emulators or retro games on the Nintendo Switch Online service, which supports the ability to save and return to a previous point within a short time frame. It's important to note that Sony's concept currently exists only on paper and may never be implemented. Sony's patented technology is somewhat akin to a regular save, and in my opinion, it would be perfect for Souls-like games. By the way, since we're talking about the Nintendo Switch, a detailed comparison with the Steam Deck recently went up on the channel. If you haven't watched it yet, I recommend checking it out. The views are really low. The PlayStation 5 has been equipped with a new feature for enhancing the image quality of PS4 games. This feature allows for increased resolution, improved object anti-aliasing, and sometimes higher frame rates in more than 8,500 PS4 games. Digital Foundry decided to do a full comparison and reveal details about the technology behind image quality enhancement for PS4 games. It turns out that it's not just dynamic resolution, but a system filter somewhat similar to Microsoft's AutoSR. At the software level, the filter processes 1080p images and tries to add details for 4K resolutions. Unfortunately, there are no miracles here. Unlike DLSS and FSR, the algorithm doesn't have access to game data and simply guesses what the image should look like in 4K. From detailed comparisons in the Uncharted series, Bloodborne, and other games, including from Sony, it's clear that you need to focus hard to spot any differences in Sony games. Only minimal changes affect distant environments. At the same time, it's unclear why this feature isn't implemented on standard PlayStation consoles. Apparently, it's an additional incentive to make everyone rush to buy the Pro. I'd like to remind you that even Microsoft's Xbox Series S enhances graphics in older games. Important news for users on a limited budget. Until the 15th of November inclusive, the PlayStation Store is running a promotion offering a 1-month EA Play subscription for just $1. In my opinion, this is a great opportunity to play the Dead Space remake. Enjoy co-op games like It Takes Two or A Way Out, the Need for Speed series, Battlefield, and a number of other notable games available with this subscription, so hurry. Your time is limited until the 15th of November. According to Sony's latest financial report, the company plans to release major single-player games annually, starting in 2025. At least 2 major titles are scheduled for next year, Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei. The report also contains some intriguing information. PlayStation 5 console sales have surpassed 65.6 million units, with 3.8 million sold in the last quarter. The latest PlayStation exclusive, Astrobot, which launched in September, has sold 1.5 million copies, while total sales of Ghost of Tsushima have surpassed 13 million copies. PlayStation Studios games for the last fiscal quarter sold a substantial 5.3 million copies. The official voting for Game of the Year at the 2024 Golden Joystick Awards has begun. The list of nominees for Best Game of 2024 includes 12 projects, with standout contenders like Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, The New Dragon Age, Helldivers 2, the Silent Hill 2 remake, and other projects for which you can vote on the official website. Feel free to share in the comments which game you think is the best this year, or if there are several. Renowned insider Jess Corden stated that, although in 2024 Xbox did not respond to the release of the PlayStation 5 Pro with a competing device, in 2025 the Xbox team plans to unveil its portable console. According to him, next year will be a good time to showcase new hardware, particularly a device that fits in your hand and can possibly be taken on the go. It's quite possible that Xbox will release something similar to the PlayStation Portable for cloud gaming via Xbox Game Pass. I'm very skeptical, however, that they'll release a fully portable console like the Nintendo Switch or something akin to handheld PCs like the Steam Deck and similar devices. Take-Two has published its financial report for the third fiscal quarter of 2024, revealing that Grand Theft Auto 6 is still scheduled for release in the fall of 2025. This means there are no delays, contrary to recent insider rumors. Despite the box office flop of the Borderlands movie adaptation, Take-Two continues to pursue plans for screen adaptations of its games, but with a focus on other franchises. GTA Online and GTA 5 have exceeded all expectations, with the latter selling 205 million copies, while the entire franchise has sold over 435 million copies. A new batch of information about the upcoming Resident Evil 9 has surfaced online, allegedly shared by testers of the new installment. According to the details, the game is set 4 years after the events of Resident Evil Village. The main protagonists will be Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine, whose appearances will resemble their versions from Resident Evil Damnation and Resident Evil 5. Chris Redfield and Barry Burton will provide support, but only remotely via communication. The plot revolves around a company that created Eveline from Resident Evil 7. This company plans to mass-produce organic weapons using the Megamecete from Miranda in the village. Both Leon and Jill will be infected with the Megamecete, which will cause hallucinations and lead them to be haunted by Eveline's voice. Aside from the classic, if that's the right word, zombies, Leon will be pursued by a stalker throughout the game, while Jill will face off against a creature known as the Goat-Legged. Players will explore various locations, including an abandoned hospital, caves, houses, laboratories, forests, and a temple. The main antagonist is a new character named Mr. Simon, who heads the bioweapons production. It is noted that Capcom conducted testing for the game in April and September with its release planned for the year 2025. Whether to trust this information or not is up to each individual. However, to me, it sounds quite plausible. And if you happen to be unsure of what new game to try on your PS5, the PlayStation Store has just added a free demo version of Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. It seems they've released it ahead of the physical edition's launch so that more players can get a taste of their remaster, and ideally, buy the full game. The demo is available to everyone without any conditions, no PlayStation Plus subscription or anything else required, just a limited portion of gameplay. So, if you're interested, it's a great opportunity to give it a shot. Meanwhile, players are absolutely tearing apart the new Dragon Age The Veilguard. On the review aggregator Metacritic, the user score is a miserable 3.8 out of 10, based on 5,500 reviews. Most users are downgrading their ratings due to the heavy-handed agenda within the game, somewhat dull gameplay, and overall disappointment as the new installment simply did not meet expectations for many players. Of course, this is a personal matter. But as for me, I'll only play the Veilguard through an EA Play subscription, and judging by Electronic Arts' current trends, they'll likely include it there in about 6 months. Mark my words. In the Japanese region of PlayStation Network, there's a different vibe when it comes to the first November game giveaway. Instead of offering Death Note on its release day, they swapped it with Evil West. Many players who initially received Death Note on release day actually found the alternative, Evil West, to be a much better and more appealing option. This sparked quite a stir on Reddit. I think it all comes down to a calculated move by the Japanese company, which understands that their market is already willing to buy the game on release day. Why give it away through a PS Plus subscription? That's likely why we saw such a swap in the game giveaway lineup. Well, dear friends, that's all from me for now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and support the video with a like. See you in the next episode.